Looks like there's a murder to solve inside preservation. We'll find out next. Hello and welcome back to the couch. We saved you a seat. My name is Luke and today we're checking out Fugitive Telemetry. Yes, this is the 5th book in the Murderbot Diaries series. We've been doing chapter by chapter reactions and reviews. If you've been following along, thank you. If you'd like to follow along, you can purchase the book utilizing the link in this description of this video. Take you to Amazon. Buy the book. It'll support the channel. You can also support the channel by using any other link and buying anything else there that would help. But also, you can join the membership. It's $2 a month, and it kind of just, buys me a cup of coffee. There's nothing special about the memberships yet, but up front, that's just the deal. So, we're going to get started. So there's a death in preservation. Wonder how this happened. Could it be Inda? We don't know. Look, this is a lot of setup. We had books 1 through 4, and it was initially the same story arc. It was the consequences of Murderbot's actions after removing the governor module, the governor chip, after hacking it. Now this is a completely new story. We've jumped in time a little bit from the 4th book, and we're now to the 6th book. So everyone said you got to read Fugitive Telemetry next because it's kind of the next book in the series, and books 5 and 7 happen a little bit after that. So we're doing this one first. This book is a little interesting. The characters are a little. I gotta hint that the characters are a little different. They're a smidge different. For example, when you watch the Arrow show, and then you watch the CW Arrow show, and then you watch the shows where they bring all of the heroes from the CW Arrow universe together, everyone is written just a little bit differently than they are in their show. Just a smidge. The same thing happens in the Avengers. Captain America is a tinge different. He's a tinge different. Iron Man, just a little bit different than he was in his solo features. This one, however, the characters are just a little different. They're met with consequences. There's consequences going on that we're not quite aware of. Minsa, for example, is now in full administrator mode. She's no longer being concerned about being sued. She's no longer being concerned about territories and Grey Chris necessarily. She's full president, administrator, leader mode. So their circumstances are different. So she's a little bit different. Murderbot, same thing. Murderbot's no longer in crisis, running for its life, trying to figure out what it needs to be and figure out information upon its mysterious past. It's kind of just chilling. It's just chilling. And this death, this serves as a vehicle, this murder possibly serves as a vehicle for a few things. The biggest one being that we have a new plot development. Also, we have a new character, Inda, the head of security. That's happening here. The main thing that I think is the kind of jumping off point for this, and they're all about equal, but the main thing is that we need to have a plot development that incorporates Murderbot into society, into a situation. We no longer have this solo trek through a mine or through a terraforming platform. We no longer have these things through Space Vegas, which is essentially what the 4th book is. Murderbot's on preservation, a place that's more or less safe. So safe, in fact, that security is bad. He mentions in the chapter. We also need to create an environment for Murderbot to continue to use its abilities, its capabilities, its security ability. It uses drones, it uses other things, but this place, preservation, doesn't need as much security as maybe Murderbot is accustomed to. It's a strange environment for Murderbot. Not bad, just different. Murderbot's accustomed to being frightened, scared. Contingencies happening all of the time. So this chapter serves to lay the groundwork for these are the living circumstances, the actual circumstances for the scenario. There's a murder. We're introduced to Inda, security person. Minsa, obviously. Pinley is an absolute dog, a lawyer. They actually talk about Pinley being kind of ferocious in how Pinley negotiates, which I love. Pinley's among my 3 favorite characters in this series. And then if we talk about like Murderbot's ability to collaborate and become part of society, they are on preservation. Murderbot's not sure what it wants to do, but this is a great step forward in what it can do. Now, let's talk about the mystery. My thoughts are this was done intentionally. Obviously, it's premeditated. It's murder. It was done intentionally. It was done intentionally, though, to get either 2 people connected or to segregate somebody from the group. In the second scenario, you have Murderbot possibly being blamed for the murder of this random person who they can't seem to ID. Or you've got Mensa trying to get Murderbot and Inda together as a group. I love how Murderbot describes Inda as someone who could throw a fist, who's someone who's a broad person, who's little and stocky and just an absolute fiend. Grits their teeth probably a little too much. You know what that's like? I've taken Adderall before. You grit your teeth really, really hard, and it's like, it's like you're constantly on edge, but not really in my circumstance. Regardless, you have this Inda character and Mensa, and you've got this weird triangle of trusts, betrayal, thoughtfulness. Immediately, I thought it was a plot from Inda to try to get rid of Murderbot. That was my immediate thought. And then Mensa's immediate thought was this Grey Chris? And I think Murderbot does a good job of shutting that down. We don't have any evidence of Grey Chris. And to be honest with you, Grey Chris doesn't need to do this. You don't need to attack. They don't need to attack preservation like this. They could attack preservation in another way. So this probably isn't Grey Chris, although it could be. I think it's interesting, but we'll have to see. It was a short, like 12 pages, really just table setting. Hey, there's a murder happening. We have sequestered Murderbot into helping with what's going on. Murderbot is the lead on intelligence and contingencies when it comes to these sorts of things. It's trained to do so. It is the tool for this sort of operation, security specifically, obviously. So it would be interesting. On the cover, you can see here a combat unit. A combat sec unit looks just like a sec unit, only it's an absolute fiend. It looks like a Tron, basically. But this thing right here, that is a combat unit. It's 3 meters tall. So it's about 9.5 feet. It's got multiple arms, multiple weapons. That's what I think this is. So I think we'll probably get one of those. I don't know how we're going to get one of those. It probably comes from off planet, off territory, off station. But I think we'll get that. Once again, table setting. So I'll be interested to see how this goes in the next chapter. I don't know how many chapters are in this book. I'll be interested to see if Inda ends up being the culprit or not. There's a pattern with mysteries, with murder mysteries specifically, where one of the first suspects is someone with authority to bend the reality or the conceptual reality of the players involved in order to get away with it, the perfect murder, as it were. So we'll see how this goes. But I think that's all I've got for you. If you like this content, please like and subscribe and share. Also, once again, buy the book. It really helps out the channel. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. It would really be helpful if we got to 1,000. We got to 1,000. We can produce more content because there's a little cash money coming in, and we'll be able to do some pretty cool things and involve my brother and some of the other people. I'm also doing a series on this right here, Agatar, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Feel free to follow that one as well. We're not doing a chapter by chapter. Actually, we're doing groups of chapters, and I've got a romantasy, fantasy expert with me, Emily. She's wonderful, and so we're gonna get that going also here in a few minutes. But can't wait to distribute more content. If you like it, once again, please like and subscribe and share. Tell your friends. But until next time, later taters.